You said you wanted freedom, more time to do whatever you want, a variety of choices, room to travel, freedom to spend time with people you actually like being around, maybe even a business that fits inside your life instead of consuming the whole damn thing. So, why did you build yourself another job? And in some cases, a job with longer hours, worse boundaries, no guaranteed paycheck, and nobody even approving your vacation request because apparently you're HR too. You know, back in the day, I used to joke that my schedule was insane and that I needed to take that up with my manager, knowing damn well that was myself, me. I'm the reason the calendar was jam-packed with no wiggle room, and that included a shit ton of commuting to locations I was teaching or speaking at. Boy, did I learn the hard way. Fast forward to present day, most of my clearest work now happens when Bourbon and I are outside. He's usually investigating something of tremendous importance to him. Maybe it's his next potential body spot, a suspicious bush. Whatever smell has apparently escalated into a federal investigation. And while he's doing that, I get real quiet. I can think and see the pattern instead of staring directly into the problem. You see, clients usually come to me from inside some version of a storm. They're chaos. Everything feels urgent. It could look like several bottlenecks. Her health or life may have changed what she can physically sustain. She knows something needs delegated, simplified, removed, or handed to the right person. But when you're standing inside the middle of the damn thing, every problem starts looking like a flashing red light similar to a strobe effect from an 80s rave. Except she ain't having fun and this ain't a party. My job is to see what actually needs to move first. And the business I now have lets me do that from a hiking trail, from my camper, through a voice note, a call, or inside a live space when a live space genuinely helps. I don't need 10 hours behind a laptop to create a meaningful outcome for somebody. But good gravy, that was not always true. There was a season when my laptop might have been seriously attached to me. I built websites, learned platforms, created offers, managed backends, produced content, built systems, recorded videos, tweaked automations, organized libraries, even taking it further back, a notable nightclub style party setup for my classes, complete with my own sound and lighting system, also attached to that damn laptop. If only I had $1 for every tool I have learned over the decades. Whoo boy. I was spending most of my life staring at a screen while imagining a future where I would finally have enough time to live. That's a hell of a business model when you say it out loud. Yeah, what was I thinking? But when you're inside your own pattern, you can justify almost anything. You know, the reasoning side that you tell yourself. It's temporary. I'm building. This will save time later. I just need to finish this system. Get through this launch. Learn this platform. Set up this workflow. Then I'll have the room. Except later has a funny habit of turning into years while you're busy preparing for it. Eventually, life gave me enough wake-up calls that I couldn't ignore the contradiction anymore. I had already survived a heart attack. Later, while traveling across the country, I experienced a detached retina. Talk about freaking scary. I'm not saying the business caused either one, but what I am saying is that those experiences completely changed the way I evaluated what I was willing to ask my body, my attention, my energy, and my actual life to keep sustaining. I had to ask myself some pretty freaking uncomfortable questions. Is this business supporting the life I say I want? Or have I simply become exceptionally good at maintaining a business that contradicts it? Because I knew what I wanted our real life to contain. Frequent daily walks in nature. Daily or even weekend exploration, more adventures with my husband, time with Bourbon where he was not laying beside me impatiently waiting for me to finish one more damn thing on the laptop. The room to support people and missions I genuinely believe in. Work that could travel with us instead of requiring our entire existence to function around keeping the business alive. So I pivoted. Hard. I simplified the delivery, reduced the technology, moved deeper into voice notes, conversations, discernment, pattern recognition, strategy, and being available when the situation is actually alive and my involvement creates movement. And then I hit another sneaky little pattern. The grandfather of them all, trading time for money. Because when you've spent years connecting hours to income, availability to value, and exhaustion to commitment, spaciousness doesn't immediately feel like freedom. Quite opposite. It feels irresponsible. You start asking yourself, am I doing enough? Will people understand the value if I'm not visibly laboring for 40 hours? Shouldn't this take longer? Shouldn't I give them more? Shouldn't I be more available? Apparently, somewhere along the way, we decided that if work doesn't leave you looking frazzled, overworked, and exhausted, perhaps you're not committed enough. Like, what the frick? That pattern ran deep. But once I could see it, I could start breaking it. And the ripple effect went far beyond my calendar. My husband no longer gets whatever energy the business didn't use. Bourbon doesn't spend his entire time waiting for the glowing rectangle to release me. My body isn't expected to absorb the cost of an unnecessarily complicated business model. And my clients aren't getting an advisor who is mentally scattered and physically depleted from running a business that contradicts everything I tell them. They get the version of me who has enough room to see clearly. That's where this entire conversation gets much bigger than time management, because your business is already producing a lifestyle right now. Yep, today, in this very moment, you are in fact living the lifestyle you created for yourself. Does it match the one on your vision board? Is it close to the one you're planning to have once revenue hits some magical number? The structure you're maintaining today in current present day life is already deciding how much of your actual life you get to experience. Look at it. Seriously. Look at your lifestyle right now in this moment. Your calendar tells you how much access the business has to your time. Your delivery model tells you how available you have to remain. Your pricing tells you how much volume you need. Your offers tell you you're being paid mainly for hours and access, or expertise, decisions, and outcomes. Your tech stack tells you whether technology is removing labor or breeding more of it overnight like digital freaking rabbits. And your boundaries tell you something especially important. Is your real life protected, or does it get whatever remains after the business is done feasting? You say you want freedom, so stop maintaining structures that require your constant attention. You want more time with your family? Stop teaching everybody that access to you is immediate and unlimited. You want to travel? Stop building a business that goes into cardiac arrest every time you step away from Wi-Fi. You want your health to matter? Stop designing around the assumption that your body owes the business identical capacity every week, for that matter, every day. You want creativity? Stop filling every open inch of your day with administration and calling the crumbs that are left over creative time. No wonder the life you want can still feel miles away. A business can generate revenue, clients can be happy, you can be booked solid, your content can be consistent. Everybody on the outside can look at it and say, man, she's killing it. Meanwhile, the business is sucking up every empty space in your life. A business can be profitable while consuming the person who created it. Revenue doesn't answer that question for you. And I think the deeper pattern is this. A lot of us build for the life we believe we're allowed to have now, while promising ourselves the life we actually want later. Yep, then comes more of that reasoning that sets in. Later, I'll rest. Later, we'll travel. Later, I'll protect my health. Later, I'll spend uninterrupted time with my husband. Later, I'll go outside more. Later, I'll work with fewer people at greater depths. Later, I'll stop staring at a screen for half of my waking life. And while later Dawn is apparently living at a spa somewhere, having a wonderful grand time, present Dawn keeps adding appointments, deliverables, software platforms, expectations, and unlimited access. Like, what in the actual... Yeah, the life you want keeps politely waiting for the business to announce that it has finally had enough. Spoiler alert, it won't. Your business is never going to wake up on one random Tuesday morning and say, excellent work. We have reached maximum business. Please go and enjoy your marriage and take the dog hiking. You have to put that permission into the structure yourself. And this is where experienced women get especially trapped. Because you may carry decades of experience, wisdom, professional knowledge, intuition, pattern recognition, and even the ability to see in 10 minutes what somebody else has been him-hawing around for 6 months on, and still structure your work like your only valuable asset is that hour. How many hours, how many calls, how many documents, how many messages, how much access. But outcome-based work asks a much more interesting question. What changed because I was involved? What became clear? What decision finally got made? What bottleneck did we identify? What pattern got interrupted? What risk got reduced? What movement became possible? Because somebody may not be paying you for 60 minutes. She may be paying for the question you asked in minute 11 that saves her 6 months of screwing around with the wrong problem. She may be paying for your ability to stay calm when she's frazzled and overwhelmed, for the pattern she cannot see because she's living inside it, for the decision that saves time, money, energy, and unnecessary risk. When the value lives in the outcome, the business doesn't need to consume every available hour to prove that value exists. And suddenly, there's room for your body, your marriage, your creativity, nature, your family, your dog, your actual fucking life. So don't go home from this video and burn your entire business to the ground. That's a little freaking dramatic and a huge inconvenience. Pick one of these. One place where your business is competing with the life you say you want. It could look like protecting a block of time, removing one unnecessary deliverable, changing one expectation about your availability, canceling one tool that creates more work than it removes, shortening a process, delegating something, stop maintaining a platform you secretly hate. Replace one meeting with a voice note or a decision. Restructure one part of an offer around the outcome instead of the hours. Create one boundary that protects your health, marriage, creativity, recovery, and your sanity. The change doesn't need to transform your entire company tomorrow. It needs to create visible evidence that your real life is no longer expected to wait politely outside the business. That's enough to start. And there's a leadership piece underneath this too. Strong leadership doesn't mean becoming everybody's answer to everything. Not every decision must pass through you. No permanent availability. The calmest leader in the room simply stopped personally carrying responsibilities that never required her involvement in the first place. Because you cannot see the whole pattern when your attention is fractured across notifications, unfinished tasks, meetings, messages, and decisions everybody has been trained to directly bring to you. And you cannot become the calm in somebody else's storm while continuously manufacturing storms inside your own freaking life. Protecting your clarity is part of what makes your clarity valuable. So if you keep saying you want freedom, stop only looking at the future version. Look at the business you're running now and ask yourself, what would I redesign if freedom stopped being the reward at the end of the business and became a requirement of the business model itself? That's where I'd start. Because maybe you don't need to work harder toward freedom. Maybe you need to stop maintaining the structures that keep postponing it. The full written piece lives on my Substack, where I go deeper into the pattern, the rooted body practice, the business structure, and the questions that help expose where your businesses may be competing with the life you actually want. And if you're looking at your business thinking, something technically works here, but good God, it's costing me way too much to maintain it, that's exactly the kind of pattern we look underneath inside of my Pattern Break Advisory. What's creating the weight? What actually needs to move first? And what change creates the biggest return in business and in your actual life? Because your business should not require you to disappear inside it before it finally gives you permission to live. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Links to my Substack are below.